Good morning, everybody. How are you this glorious Tuesday? I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. And welcome to our Tuesday morning Business Growth Insights, which is where every single week in my group, Confident Successful Business Owners, I come and give you some training that you can take away and implement into your business every single week. So this week, first of all, if you are jumping on live with me, say hi. I love, you guys all know if you've been following me for a little while that I love to engage with you and say hi. I don't like to feel like I'm just talking to a computer screen or a camera. I like to know that there's people in the room with me. So if you're jumping on, say hi. If you're watching the replay, make sure you pop #replay so I can come back and say hi to you, because I love to do that too. All right, everyone. And now just one more thing. If you are watching via, now you'll notice that I'm going live via a platform called StreamYard. And if you if you're watching and you've never used StreamYard before, just click the link in the description that says just give StreamYard permission to see your name. And that way you will be able to see your name come up on the screen. And I'll show you about that in a little minute. All right, everybody. So that's enough of our introduction. Hey, everybody. By the way, say hi if you're watching. Okay, so what we're going to talk about this morning is turning followers into sales in your business. Good, just like this. We want to give StreamYard permission so we can see your name just like this. Good morning, lovely Parme. How are you, darling? All right, now, turning followers into sales, everybody. Now, it is one thing to have hundreds and maybe even thousands of followers, right? That's one thing. And people watching what you do is another thing, right? Fantastic. But it doesn't mean in business you can have as many followers as you like. You can have millions of followers, but it doesn't mean anything at all unless you can convert those followers that really, really, really resonate with what you do into buying customers, into the sales, right? So this is why we're looking at turning your followers into sales today. Now, I'm kind of going to preempt some of you probably sitting back and going, well, that's great, Ali. I don't have that many followers. Okay, great. Do you know what? And that's fine. And we all start somewhere where we don't start with many followers. But guess what? If you don't have any followers, guess what? Come and watch me. Come and work with me and I'll help you get those followers. But the thing is, guys, we all started somewhere, okay? So if you haven't got the followers yet that you're desiring, that is perfectly okay. We've all started somewhere. And like I said, come and work with me, get some coaching with me, and I will teach you how to get those followers. But I want you to remember this as you're watching today's training. This is one thing that I want you to remember. No followers equals no sales, and when you have no sales, you have no business. Okay, so it is important to first grow those followers, but then know a plan and a system to be able to turn them into sales, buying customers, which is again what we're going to look at today. All right, so let's get straight into it. So we're going to look at, first of all, the first thing we need to do is build your brand. Now, what you want to do is you want to let everybody see that you exist. I cannot tell you how many, in particular, Facebook profiles I go to of people who I know are in business, or they're telling me they're in business, right? But I look at these profiles and you'd either have absolutely no idea that these people are in business at all, or if you've got an idea if they are, that if you can see that they're in some kind of business, you don't know what they do. So, this means like you can't, there's nothing in there. There's no links to a business page. There's no links to a website. There's no cover photo. There's no posts at all saying what you do for your business. You might say, I'm a business coach, and then you've got @self-employed. Great. Where are you self-employed? What's your business? See what I mean? So let everybody know that you're in business. If you are in business, shout it loud and proud, right? In every single way possible. all over your social media, using every single aspect. And you guys have been following me for a little while. You know that, one of the main things I teach is organic social media marketing, mainly on Facebook, but on the other socials as well. So use them. Most of the time, these are free tools that we have to use, okay? Yes, there are, especially with Facebook now, we all know there's a paying option coming out on Facebook. Let's just put that out there, right? Address the elephant in the room. But there are things you can still use for free, okay? So you want to shout it loud as much as possible. And the other thing that I hear a lot of people saying is, I want to keep my socials private. Now, I get that. There are some things that, in your life you want to keep private. Of course you do. We don't want to put all our dirty laundry out on socials. And really my thought is you shouldn't be doing that anyway. But of course there are some things just for family and friends that you want to keep private. But there are ways where you can still be private on social media but public with your business. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. So you can still remain private on social media with your family and friends and just share particular things with them, but you need to go public with your business. Okay. Good morning, Carly, a lovely lady. Great to have you joining me. It's lovely to see your beautiful smiling face there. That's great. All right. So the next thing we need to do is establish yourself as an expert, or another way to put that is a thought leader in your business, right? So we're taking this getting everyone to know you exist to the next level, essentially. All right. So think about it. Guys, you chose this business for a reason, okay? Because either you're very good at what you do, and I'm sure you are very good at what you do, right? Or you have a product that is incredible and you're excited to share it. So now, again, is the time to let the world know about your fantastic product, about your fantastic service. And again, we're thinking about shouting it loud and proud from the world, because what do? You want to let people know you exist. You want to show off. Business is about showing off your business, about showing off your service and showing off your product, showing off your skills in a way that's not, look at me. Well, you do want to have a little bit of look at me, but you don't want to, if you like Kath and Kim, but you don't want to feel braggy. Okay, there's a fine line. We always in business want to connect and grow. Something that I see a lot is people saying, well, I'm finding it difficult to grow my following. And you know why? This is because you're most likely sitting back and waiting for people to come to you. Guess what? People aren't going to magically find you. You have to give them ways to find you, provide them with ways to connect with you. Again, putting these links on your personal profile, a link to your website. Again, websites aren't going to magically be found, right? Unless you're right up the top of the Google search. And, SEO is a wonderful thing. And I think it's a great thing to have in business, and we all need it. But the bottom line is, you've got to put a lot of work in to get there as well. So people aren't going to magically find you unless you connect with them and grow these connections. Connection, guys, is the key to everything you do, right? You know the deal. I say this in everything. So it's not the type of connection that is, here I am, this is what I do, now buy my stuff. I don't know about you, but I do not like it when people connect with me like that. Like I've just friended them and someone says, okay, they send me a message 5 minutes later going, hi, this is what I do. Would you like to book in with a free session with me? And the answer is, well, no, because you haven't connected with me yet. We haven't built this relationship, okay? I mean the type of connection where you say, how are you? Tell me about you. So it's a connection where you are showing interest in them first, right? It is, yes, eventually you want to get around to this is what I do. But first of all, you have to make a connection so they want to connect more. When I get those messages going, would you like to book a free call? I don't want to connect with those people anymore, because again, they haven't bothered to try and build my trust with them. I hope that makes sense. Tell me if you're getting what I'm putting down. Now, something that I think a lot of us don't do enough of, and this is something that I have started to do a lot more of lately, is follow your competitors, right? And learn from them. Don't be afraid to check out what other people are doing in exactly the same field that you are, right? Particularly those who you know are really successful in what they do, okay? Now, as I said, this is something that I have started doing a lot more over the last couple of years. But now I've come to do this all the time. And, you know, yes, they're my competitors, but and I said this all the time too, you know, what the type of, you know, I have some best friends who do exactly what I do, but people will resonate with them and maybe not me, and vice versa. People might resonate with me and not them. But I want to watch what they do. I want to learn from what they do, right? Particularly people who are more successful than me. Not only do I want to learn from what they do, but I also want to learn from their mistakes, because guess what? No one's perfect. And even if someone is ahead of you in business, they are 100% going to still be making mistakes, because we all do. Hello, beautiful Julie. How are you, gorgeous? Hey, Rose. Oh, my God, Rose. That is one of my favourite names ever. My mum's name was Rosalie, so I love the name Rose. Lovely to have you both joining me this morning. Okay, so just don't forget to be, you know, don't be afraid to follow your competitors. Watch and learn what they do. And again, like I said, learn from their mistakes. Now, the next thing is you need to establish your KLT factor. Now, I would love you guys to tell me in the chat, what do you think the KLT factor is? When I was preparing this, this isn't a normal thing that I use, and I had to think about it and go, well, what is the KLT factor? And then, of course, when I found out, it was like, oh my God, of course. So tell me in the chat. I'd love to know. I'm going to wait for a little minute if you can guess what the KLT factor is. I'm really loving it. I can hear all the cogs turning in the background. What is it? 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 I know there's a little delay too, so I'm just waiting to see if there's any comments that come up. If there aren't in a few seconds, I'll move on and I'll tell you. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you eventually. Nope. You don't know, Rose? Okay, all right. Well, I'll give it to you. Okay, the KLT factor is something that you have all heard of. I can guarantee you. It's the know, like, and trust factor. Right? See what I mean? And if you're anything like me, you just went, of course. So let's look at the know, like, and trust factor, right? First of all, to help turn your followers into buying customers, again, you want to shout out what you do or what you sell loud and proud. Exactly. Rose is doing the face palm. I know, right? I know. I did exactly the same thing, the face palm. That's cracking me up. All right. So you want to shout what you do loud and proud. Share why you came into, why you are doing this particular business, how you came into doing it, why you have a passion for what you do, why you have a passion for your products. How did you develop your products? How did they come to me? I know Carlia has a fantastic story, about how she has come to do what she does with her amazing products. And so, you have to allow people to get to know you. Again, this is what I've been saying all morning so far. If you don't let people get to know you, then how are they going to know you? Right? So knowing it, telling them about your business, how you came into doing it, why you're doing it, what you love about it, sharing your passion. Then the next thing is you want them to like you, of course. Great, because they can know you, but you want them to like you. You want them to resonate with you. So in the story that you're telling, you want to resonate with people as to why they would want to buy from you, right? You want them to say things like, particularly, say, for instance, if you're in a service-based business, you want them to say, oh, my God, he or she gets me, or she gets it, oh, my God, he gets what I'm going through, right? Or you want them to say something like, oh, my God, I really like what you're saying. That's a service-based business. For a product-based business, you want them to say, oh, my God, I love the story, but your products sound like exactly what I need for myself to be able to solve the problem, right? Now, the next thing we do is we're going to go to the trust factor. Now, it's great for someone to know you. It's fantastic for someone to like you. But the ultimate thing you want to do is get them to trust you. This is the absolute key, right? Particularly when it comes to making the sales in your business. People need to trust you enough to invest their hard-earned money in what you're doing or selling. It's simple as that. If they don't trust you enough, they're not going to buy from you. So it's really important that this trust factor is something that we really, really work on in business. So, you can do that by sharing reviews of your product that people have put out. You can share testimonials of people who have worked with you. Again, sharing how you can solve their problems with your products or services. Now, if you have not only, gone through the no factor, if you've gotten them to like you, that's great. You're on your way. But if you can get them to trust you, this is a whole other level. Like I said, this is absolutely key. So get them to trust you by letting them know how you solve their problem. So let's keep going, establishing your KLT factor. Now, don't dump and run, right? Who here, and you guys know I've made all the mistakes in business, and I don't hide that. I'm actually proud that I have learned from a lot of my mistakes. I've learned from other people's, but I've also learned from my own, right? So when you're promoting on social media, don't just dump and run. Don't dump a post and say, see you later, and hope to God that it works, right? Stay in that group. So I've got a bug flying around my head. If you're posting in someone's group, stay in that group. Chat with people in that group, right? Comment on other people's posts. Give advice. Now, not salesy advice, but ask about them, right? Be interested in other people first. Remember, we're creating that connection. And let me give you an example of what not to do here. Now, again, you know that I've learned from my mistakes, but I also watch other people's mistakes. Now, it was a little while ago. It was a couple of years ago now. I put a post up. I had just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and I put a post up about how I was feeling. It was quite a personal post, right? But it went public. But what I had from that post was all of a sudden I had all these health coaches read that post and go, zoom, and they just jumped on the bandwagon in that post and said, oh my God, you've got this, I can help you, come and look at my products, do you want to book a free call? And the answer was no. That's not why I put that post up, right? So it wasn't, they didn't really give me time or give me a chance to build a connection with them. It was just like, okay, so she's got a problem I can solve, but I'm just going to help her solve it, right? And while the intention behind that was genuine, I truly believe it was genuine, it was done in a salesy way. Instead of giving me, it would have been better for someone to say, can I suggest you do this? Or, I don't know, just suggest changing a diet, or whatever it was, changing a diet or whatever it was. Instead of going, oh my God, I can help you with that. I've got this fantastic product. Please click here because I want to sell it to you. Can you see the difference? It came across very salesy. Something else that happened to me recently was I had some beautiful headshots taken by an incredible photographer. And what happened with this post is I shared my beautiful images. And what happened, thankfully it wasn't done privately, but I had a couple of photographers private message me to tell me what was wrong about these photos. To tell me that A, I wasn't dressed properly, and B, there were certain things in the photos that could have been improved. Now, that's okay. That's fine, But the thing was that these people, I didn't know these people from a bar of soap, right? So there was no factor there. Did I like them? I don't know, because I didn't know them. Did I trust them enough to give me advice? The answer is no, I didn't, because they had not taken the time to build that connection. And again, I think the intention behind what they were doing was real, was genuine, but it just wasn't done in a way that felt connective. Does that make sense with everybody? So we want to make sure that when you're engaging with people that you are creating these genuine connections. Chat with someone, when you're giving them advice, like I said, not salesy advice. If someone asks a question about, I don't know who's watching. Carlia, if someone's asking a question about, what's the best type of recipe to make a jam or something like that, let them know. Let them know. Just go, okay, this is the best recipe. Or you could say, this is what I use. But you're not being pushy. You're not being overly salesy. You're just giving them advice and letting them know. If they want more, then they'll come to you. Make sense? All right, let's move on. The next thing is to show consistency and reliability. Now, daily action, guys, in business is a must. Absolutely, it's a must, right? Consistency shows reliability. This in itself is a huge trust factor. If you want to be seen as reliable, you have to be consistent, right? You want people to say he or she does what they say they're going to do. Their products get delivered on time. Their services are amazing as people say they are, right? You want people to trust you, right? You couldn't agree more. Exactly, Carly. I know. That's right. Thank you. So think about this then, right? Imagine if I promised you, I've just said at the top of this call that, I come live to do some training every single Tuesday, right? To give you some advice and what I love to do in business, right? This is my passion. But imagine if I promised you every Tuesday that I was going to turn up live and I just failed to show up for a couple of weeks in a row because I just wasn't feeling it. Would that make you think I was reliable? Because it would say, no, well, she said she's going to be live every Tuesday and she's not showing up. So what happens if she says she's going to deliver, turn up to a coaching session? Is she actually going to show up or is she just going to not feel it that day? Can you see what I mean? So show reliability in everything you do. If you say you're going to do something, do it. But also the consistency comes into this. Consistency on social media will show reliability. It will show that you do have a passion for what you do. You do have a passion for what you sell because you are showing up and you want to share it with the world. Okay? So, my motto is that if I make a promise, I'm going to keep it. My motto is that if I say I'm going to do a training, I'm going to do a damn training. Now, the only thing that's really going to keep me away from doing a training is if I'm in hospital or something drastic, right? Touch wood, that's not going to happen. Do I take holidays like everybody? Of course I do. But do you know what? I let people know when I'm taking holidays because I'm only human too. But my motto is that if I make a promise, I'm going to show up. And I'm going to keep it. If you book a coaching session with me, I will show up. If you book a call with me, I will show up. If I can't, it's going to be something pretty damn drastic where I'm not there. And so this is what I want to encourage you guys to do as well. I see a lot of people, saying, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do a course. And this goes for me doing courses as well. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do a course. And then 3 weeks later, they've done 3 weeks and then they don't show up into the course anymore, right? This is people doing courses alongside of me, right? In the course, in my mastermind that I'm a part of. Good morning, beautiful Sharon. How are you, gorgeous lady? Lovely to see you joining us. So consistency, reliability, everybody, is so damn important in business. Now, something we all need to do is have strong CTAs. Now, again, tell me in the chat, what do you think a CTA is? Again, I'm going to wait for a little minute. Rose, I'll be interested if you're still watching to know if you know this one. CTA. Carlia and Sharon, I know you know what it is. If you didn't, I'd be surprised. Carlia and Sharon are both members of my Heart and Soul Business Academy. So if they didn't know, I'd be a little worried. Pame, I know you know what it is. All right, I'll tell you. So a CTA is a call to action, okay? Call to action, that's exactly it. See, Sharon got it. was going to say, Sharon, you should know that. But with a call to action, something that I like to say, what is a call to action? Okay, so it is literally you giving every piece of content, everything you do, a job. Now, I love when I only saw this quote yesterday and I fell in love with it immediately, because that's what a call to action. You want to have a strong call to action, right? Again, giving every piece of content that you have a job to do. So the first way we can do that is make it real easy for people, right? Guide your following to the next step. Lead them where you want them to go. Don't leave them guessing. Again, this goes back to the Facebook personal profile, right? If you might be putting, even if you are starting to put some kind of business posts on your profile, and I'm just going to say here, you want to be a little caveat here. If you want to sell from your profile, you need to turn it into professional mode. That's a whole other training there that I do teach in my academy, but I'm not going to have time this morning. But if you are putting, if you're putting posts on your profile and you don't have a call to action, you're not leading people to where you want them to go, at least to your business page, you are missing opportunities. You're leaving people guessing. You're going, well, that's great. I love the look of your products. That's fantastic. What do I do now? And people aren't going to just randomly go, or very few people are just going to randomly go and search for you. They're going to go, well, she hasn't left a link, so I'm not going to bother. Or she hasn't told me what to do. She hasn't guided me to the next step, so I'm not going to bother. You see what I mean? Another way to have a very strong call to action is explain to people, like, why should they join your mastermind? Why should they join your group? Why should they buy your products? Okay, so have social proof, and tell them in your call to action how to do that. So, for instance, if you're trying to get someone to subscribe to a membership or join a course, whatever it is, and you've got the followers, okay, and you've genuinely got people in your course, and you've genuinely got that number of customers, then you can say, come and join over 5,000 followers and subscribe. Come and join, over 32,000 people in my group, in my Facebook group. You say, come and join hundreds of other business owners who I have successfully helped in business, something like that, or come and join hundreds of other business owners growing their businesses successfully, something like that. So what you're doing, this is definitely social proof, and it has to be true, right? You can't just make it up, because people are going to know if it's made up. You know what I mean? Like at the moment, I wouldn't say come and join a group of 32,000 people, because I don't have one. I would say come and join a group of over 1,100 people, of engaged people in confident, successful business owners. That's what I would say. That's my social proof. Do you see what I mean? So we need to provide as much of that as possible. Good morning, Natty. How are you, gorgeous lady? Lovely to have you joining us. And the last thing we want to do is make sure, and I say this all the time too, the old KISS method, keep it simple, sister, or keep it simple, sexy, however you want to put it. Right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what the last S is for. It's just we want to keep it simple, right? A lot of people believe, and I see this so often, a lot of people believe that before they even put out a call to action, any kind of call to action, that they have to have everything perfectly set up. All the tech has to be there. That's actually not true. Now, I teach something called the Flintstone style, right? This means that if you don't have the tech set up, there are ways to start a business without it. Guess what? Guess where I started? And I'm in my 4th year of this particular business. I started Flintstone style. I didn't have all the fancy pants tech. We're still adding it as we grow. Some of the stuff we still do is Flintstone style, right? It's still very, very basic. And I'm not ashamed of that, because I'm a growing business. So don't let the fact that you don't have all the tech set up and have everything perfect in the background, don't let that stop you from putting a call to action out, right? Now, let me also say that there are inexpensive ways to get started with very simple tech. And yes, there are absolutely free ways as well. And I teach all of you that in my coaching. So lastly, have a clear strategy to follow, everybody, right? You can have a plan in your head, great. But if you don't get it down on paper and it's not an actionable plan, right? You've got to have something written down. It's great. It's one thing to have it in your head, but there's a lot of thoughts that go around in our head on a daily basis, right? So put it down on paper, work out an actionable plan, something that you can actually follow, something that's visual that you can look at on a daily basis and go, okay, that's what I need to do. Because remember, what have I said? Daily action, everybody, daily action. Okay, so having a strategy to follow, again, this is something that I teach my clients. I teach them how to, extract a strategy from their heads. What are we going to do? What's the strategy? Because every business is different too. There are some similarities in all businesses, but also there are a lot of differences to particular businesses, if that makes any sense. All right, so just quickly to recap. So how are we going to turn our followers into sales? So first of all, build your brand. Let people know that you exist. Show off in a genuinely, passionate way what you do and what you sell. Establish your KLT factor, your know, like, and trust factor. Trust being the biggest thing. Have strong CTAs, strong call to actions. Guide people, lead them where you want to go. And lastly, like it says on screen there, have a clear strategy to follow. That's easy for you and easy to follow. Okay. So who's ready? Who's ready to have your call? Who's ready to have a clear strategy to follow? Who needs help with all of this other stuff? If you do, if you want to go deeper, and I mean not just surface deeper, right, but you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of how to do this in a way that's not overwhelming, I'd love to have a chat with you. And I would invite you to book in for a free 30-minute session with me. It's called a Business Booster Call. And, we'll talk about where you are at in business right now. We'll have a chat. I may give you a couple of tips that you can take away to implement into your business straight away. But the biggest thing that I want to do is learn about how I might be able to help you in your business, because it is my passion. It is what I love to do. And I've been doing this for 4 years now. My Heart and Soul Business Academy is growing. I love, love, love helping fellow business owners to build and grow. Now, just so you know, I have been offering 5 free individual coaching packages over the next couple of months, but I've only got 3 left. So if you want some individual coaching that is solely focused on you and your business, right? Not in a group, it's individual coaching packages. They're very, very affordable. If you would like to find out more, I welcome you to book in a chat with me, everybody. You can see the QR code, and it has also just gone up in the chat there as well. So, all right, everybody. So I want to thank you for joining me today. It has been wonderful. Like I said, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. Come and not only do I love Facebook Lives because I've gone over time, but I just love to come and share my knowledge, my passion with you all, because this is absolutely what I love to do. And I want you to have that passion for what you do in your business as well. So, all right, everybody, have a fantastic Tuesday. I will see you here at the same time next week for another Business Growth Insights training. See you later, everybody. Bye.